Buenas tardes, clase. Today we're going to cover Grammar 2.2 from the textbook. So we'll start with this PowerPoint, and this has to do with forming questions in Spanish, which many of you are already familiar how to do this. Let's see what the PowerPoint tells us. There are 3 basic ways to ask questions in Spanish. Can you guess what they are by looking at the photos and photo captions on this page? So here we see he says, ¿Te gusta mucho la tarea? No. So there's one way. ¿Hablas con tu mamá? There's another way. ¿Estudia Maru? There's another way. One way to form a question is to raise the pitch of your voice at the end of a declarative sentence. When writing any question in Spanish, remember that we use the upside down question mark at the beginning, and so here, and a regular question mark at the ending. Okay, so that's very important. So let's see what they mean by this. Here's a statement. Ustedes, and really pay attention to the way I say it and to where my voice raises. So here's the statement. Ustedes trabajan los sábados. Right, so there it goes down because it's a statement. So the same form, just with a tweak in the pitch. Ustedes trabajan los sábados. So it kind of goes up at the end to indicate that it's a question. Look at this example. Carlota busca un mapa. Carlota busca un mapa. And now it's a question. You can also form a question by inverting the order of the subject and the verb of the declarative sentence. This also can make it more obvious. So if we look at a statement here, it says, Ustedes trabajan los sábados. So the subject is first and the verb. Whereas with a question we say, ¿Trabajan ustedes los sábados? But you'd still do the voice pitch change too. But you notice that the verb and subject switch there. Here, this example, Carlota regresa a las 6. Regresa a las 6, Carlota. So you notice that Carlota went to the very end of the question. You can also add the tags no or verdad at the end of the statement to indicate that it's a question. So look here, ustedes trabajan los sábados, the statement. As a question, the inflex or the pitch is the same. Ustedes trabajan los sábados, with a slight pause, no, and then the voice goes up. So that would sound like, ustedes trabajan los sábados, no. Look at this example. Carlota regresa a las 6. Carlota regresa a las 6, ¿verdad? So again, there's a little pitch, an up pitch, to make your listener know that it's a question. So, no, ¿verdad? Here are a bunch of interrogative words, which are question words, right, that are important for this chapter. So let's go through these quickly, and you have the English next to them. So, repita, por favor. ¿A dónde? ¿Cómo? ¿Cuál? ¿Cuáles? ¿Cuándo? ¿Cuánto? ¿Cuánta? ¿Cuántos? ¿Cuántas? ¿De dónde? And we know this one from the very beginning of the course when we'd ask, ¿de dónde eres? Right? And you say, soy de Brooklyn, or soy de El Bronx, etc. ¿Dónde? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué? ¿Quién? ¿Quiénes? ¿Quiénes? So notice that all of these interrogative words have something in common. They all have written accent marks. Every single one. Look, ¿dónde over the O, ¿cómo over the A's, and ¿cuál, cuáles, ¿cuándo, etc. They all have an accent mark, okay? So keep that in mind. That's important. So to ask a question that requires more than a yes or no answer, we use an interrogative word, right? So for instance, ¿cuál de ellos estudia en la biblioteca? Right? So this is a question that you can't just say sí or no. You have to say who, right? Who is studying in the library? ¿A dónde caminamos? Again, you can't answer sí or no. You have to say, well, where are we walking? ¿Cuántos estudiantes hablan español? Right? You see the English there. ¿Por qué necesito hablar con ella? Right? ¿Dónde trabaja Ricardo? ¿Quién enseña la clase de arte? ¿Qué clases tomas? ¿Cuánta tarea hay? So these are all examples of words that require interrogative words. I'm sorry, questions that require interrogative words because they're not simple yes-no answers. So when you pronounce this type of question, the pitch in your voice tends to fall at the end. And you may have noticed that happening a bit in my previous examples. So you might say, ¿Cómo llegas a clase? Right, so it kind of goes down. ¿Por qué necesitas estudiar? So it goes down. So you kind of start high with the interrogative word and then it goes a little bit more down toward the end. This isn't across the board. If you said, ¿Cómo llegas a clase? And the pitch went up at the end, that'd be fine. ¿Por qué necesitas estudiar? And it went up, that's fine. But in general, that's how it goes. So notice the difference between por qué, which is written as two words and has an accent mark, and porque, which is written as one word without the accent. So listen, there's even a very notable difference in the pronunciation. ¿Por qué estudias español? Porque es divertido. So here he's saying por qué. The stress is on que, and here it's on por. Porque es divertido. Right, so notice the difference. Porque separate with an accent is why. Porque together, no accent, is because. Alright, last slide here. In Spanish, no can mean both no and not. Therefore, when answering a yes-no question in the negative, you need to use no twice. Right? So for instance, it says, ¿Caminan a la universidad? You say, no. No caminamos a la universidad. No, we do not walk. So that second no is the do not, like in English. So you're saying, no, we don't walk to the university. All right, so that you have to use those two no's. All right, muy bien. Vamos a hacer algunas actividades. Let's start with this activity. So let's look at the instructions here. And again, this corresponds to pages 55 to 58 in your textbook if you want to follow along in the text. So the instructions tell us choose the option that best answers each question. All right, so here we're just practicing with questions and answers. So número uno dice, ¿Quién es el chico? So you could respond, es Miguel, es chico, es de Cuba, o es la mochila. So pause it and think about it for a second. All right, and we're back. So, ¿Quién es el chico? The only one of these that makes sense, of course, is es Miguel. Right, so who's the boy? It's Miguel. Bien. So remember, you should pause these videos because I'm going to be moving kind of quickly, but that way you have time to think about the answer before I give it. Número dos. ¿Cuándo llegan los estudiantes de México? All right, so here are the four options. 4 estudiantes llegan. Los estudiantes de México llegan. Los estudiantes llegan a la universidad o los estudiantes llegan a las 10. Pause it. Okay, and we're back, and the only one that would make sense here is los estudiantes llegan a las 10 because cuando is asking when, right? We want to know when the students are arriving from Mexico. Muy bien. 3. ¿Cómo cantan los chicos? Los chicos cantan a las 9. Los chicos cantan bien. Los chicos cantan en la clase. Los chicos cantan. Pause. And we're back. The only answer here that works is los chicos cantan bien. Why? Because it's asking you how they sing. ¿Cómo cantan los chicos? Right? So they want a description. Do they sing well? Do they sing lousy? These other options, this is telling you at what time they sing. This is telling you where they sing, and this is just telling you that they sing, right? Okay, número 4. ¿De dónde es Margarita? So here are the options. Es Margarita Vega, es de Panamá, es profesora, estudia historia. Pause. We're back. So de dónde es Margarita, right? We want to know where she's from. So, of course, es de Panamá. Right? From where is Margaret? She is from Panama. Okay, last one. ¿Qué autobús tomas? Here are the options. Son las 4. Yo tomo el autobús 27. Yo tomo el autobús. Yo camino a la universidad. Pause. And we're back, and of course the only answer that works here is Yo tomo el autobús 27. Why? Because it's asking you what bus you take. We're interested in what exact, like the bus number, right? And you're saying, I take bus number 27. Okay, muy bien. So that was a good activity. We're going to do one more quick one, and then we'll wrap it up. So here we're going to be working with what interrogative word or tag word are we going to choose that makes sense, right? So it says fill in the blanks with the appropriate words to complete the dialogue. And again, corresponding pages 55 a 58. Okay, so Fernando dice, hola, busco a Juan. ¿Está en esta clase? Paula responds with a question. Blank, buscas a Juan. So would it be por qué or por qué? Pause. And of course it would be the separate one because that's the interrogative word. This is how you put the accent in on the E. Right? So, ¿por qué buscas a Juan? So Paula wants to know why Fernando is looking for Juan. Fernando contesta, blank, deseo hablar con él. Es mi compañero de cuarto. So pause, and we're back. And this is a statement, so of course it would be this one, the por qué that's together. It sounds differently. Porque deseo hablar con él. Es mi compañero de cuarto. Muy bien. Paula responde, Juan y tú son amigos. And then there's a comma, and it looks like a question. So would you say verdad o dónde? Pause. So here it would be verdad. This is how we do it tag, right? So it's like in English saying, Hugh and Juan are friends, right? That verdad is saying, right? Muy bien. Fernando dice, sí, somos amigos. Paula dice, ¿y tú? Blank te llamas? And everyone should know this one because we know how to ask someone's name. So pause, and we're back. Of course, it's como, right? We put the accent in here over the O. ¿Cómo te llamas? Muy bien. Fernando dice, Fernando, disculpa, no tengo tiempo. Blank está Juan. Alright, so we can say, ¿Dónde está Juan? Or ¿Por qué está Juan? Pause. We're back. And ¿Dónde? Right? He wants to know where his roommate is. ¿Dónde? Accent over the O there. ¿Dónde está Juan? Paula dice, no sé. Es mi primer día de clases. Blank es Juan. Right? So, ¿cuánto es Juan? O ¿quién es Juan? Pause. And we're back. And of course it would be ¿quién? It's her first day of class. She doesn't even know who Juan is. So, ¿quién es Juan? So, it looks like Paula wasted Fernando's time here in this conversation. Okay, so that's it for today, clase. Muy buen trabajo y hasta luego.